Hello, it's good to see you. Today we're going to take a look at this little set that I just got. And it's a set of hearts and flowers stamps from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And here there's this little opening in the package where you can kind of see a few of the stamps. Now it still has the original plastic on it and it's not been opened yet. So the first thing we're going to do is examine the box. We're going to examine the box and see what it says. And then we will remove this plastic. It's kind of hard to see, but it has plastic on it. So we're going to take the plastic off and we'll check it out. So let's turn it over. See what it says on the back. On the back they have some little pictures, like examples of the stamps. A couple of them there. Make an impression worthy of a museum. Decorate Valentines, greeting cards, stationery, gift wrap, invitations, and more with rubber stamps adapted from works of art in the collections of the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Included are 22 rubber stamps, a washable black ink pad, and an illustrated insert describing the museum's source for each image. And this set was published by the Metropolitan Museum of Art, New York, and Viking, a member of Penguin Putnam Incorporated. 375 Hudson Street, New York, New York, 10014. And obviously, I have not tried it. My experience sometimes with these sets is that the stamp pad that comes with it has dried and it's not working. We're going to check it out. I can't promise that the stamp pad will work, but it might. Now the box is sort of bent. It's kind of crinkled, like it's been crushed a little bit. Just right there. It's kind of hard to see it, but it's crushed a little bit. I don't think the stamps are damaged. Now it says this set includes 22 rubber stamps and one washable black ink pad. If nothing else, we got some pretty cool stamps, I think. So let's remove the plastic from this box. Now I have cut the plastic here and here, right here and here, to hopefully make it easier to remove. If needed, I always have my scissors close by. There we go. Alright, we have removed the plastic, and it looks better without that. And there's another layer right here to keep these pieces inside. So now we have to figure out how to open the box. Let's see here, like this perhaps. It is really in there. Oops. Oh God. Sorry. That thing is really in there. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, well, we got the top open. And I think it's going to be kind of like the D set, the D set that I opened a few days ago. Oh, goodness. It was very tightly packed. Okay, so we have this plastic little, it's like a tray. This little black plastic tray. And you can see that these stamps are different sizes. And they look quite detailed. Like this one is pretty big here. Now on this first level, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 stamps. Let's see if we can get one out. Oh, they're joined. And on the back, you can kind of see what they look like. And it feels like this part is made of just some foam rubber. And then on this side we have the stamp itself. So you can see, this one has 2 little cherubs on it. And this one is a beautiful floral arrangement. See? And there's a little heart right there. That's nice. There's little birds there. Put that right there. Ooh, this one's like a mirror or a picture frame with 2 little cherubs up there. And then this oval part, which is like the frame for a mirror. This over here. I'm going to put some over here. I'm going to just move this like this. Let's give us a little more room. And then we have 4 square stamps. Ooh, look at that one. And this one looks like a little rows of hearts. This is a little square. And another little cherub, just one. Oh, a rose. Look at that. Looks like we have a rose and then another type of flower beside it. And then a little bitty tiny cherub. It's like it's Cupid with his bow and arrow and his Valentine. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the stamps. And here we have 2 of 3 larger ones. This one's pretty big. Look at this. It almost looks like a floral wreath. See? I like that they have this nice foam rubber on the back. That's cool. And then we have this rectangular one here that has a pretty pattern to it. It's kind of hard to see it, but here you see it. It's almost like a border, like for wallpaper. And then finally we have the largest one on this little layer. It's like it almost looks like a painting with these 2 people. And they're in this lovely setting here. So That's the biggest one of these. Let's see if we can get out the next level. And they're all kind of stuck together, so it's a little difficult to get the first one out. Oops. I got part of it. There we go. Well, how many do we have here? Let's see. We have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have 22 total, just like the box said. So that's good. Now this one is much smaller. It's a heart stamp. It almost looks like a little lock. And this one is also very small. And it's a little flower. Oh, I like that one. That one's adorable. It almost looks like a hot air balloon, but it's a flower. I think that's my favorite so far. And this one, it just looks like some sort of fern, some sort of plant. Wow, this one's big. It's got a heart-shaped wreath with a bow in the middle. That's cute too, I like that. There. And this one's pretty big. Boy, look at that. I think I like this one the best now. It's like a little tree that's growing hearts. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hearts. And this pretty little graceful little tree. It's like Tetris. I have to figure out how this goes. It's okay. There. Okay. And next we have a key. Like a little skeleton key or something. I like all the detail in these stamps. It's really nice. You have to kind of pry them apart. There. Ooh, I like this one too. It's a little pot here with some little flowers in it. 3 or 4 little things in there. And then beside that, is this. And this is it's just it's like a little decorative square. And it has these little flowers in it. And then we have 4 more. Oh, this one's a little bird. It's like a little dove. A graceful little flying dove. It's much thinner than the doves around here right now. They're all fluffy and trying to stay warm. And another one. So we actually have 2. One's facing this way, one's facing this way. So you could use them like a little border if you wanted to. And then we have these two rectangular ones. Oh, I like this one. These look like daffodils. Let's see. Or jonquils. And we have 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. And some of the greenery that goes along with that. And the final stamp is, it's a little cherub blowing a horn. And there it is. And there's a little flag waving from it right there. And we do have some stuff in here. Let's see. Oh my. If that's the stamp pad, it's very small. It's actually so small that I don't know that it will work for some of these big ones. But let's look at this here. We'll come back to that. Hearts and flowers stamps. The rubber stamp designs have been adapted from the following works of art in the collections of the Metropolitan Museum of Art. This is cool. So here's the one that looked like the oval mirror. Cherubs. Detail from a printed cotton. Le Marchand d'Amour, French, circa 1817. In the blossom, this is the one I liked. A.W. Pugin, British, 1812 to 1852. Detail of a chromolithograph from plate 9 of Floriated Ornament, a series of 31 designs, published by Henry G. Bond in London, 1849. And here are the little hearts that we saw. They were detailed from a printed cotton fragment designed by J.B. Hewitt, French, circa 1810. Oh, and the daffodils. I love daffodils. Kate Greenaway, British, 1846 to 1901. Hand-colored wood engraving from page 12 of A Day in a Child's Life, published by George Routledge and Company, London, 1881. Oh, and the rose wreath. Kate Greenaway, British, 1846 to 1901. Hand-colored wood engraving from a half-title page of A Day in a Child's Life. Same as the daffodil. And the heart wreath, the little heart-shaped wreath, is a detail from an album quilt. It's American from Baltimore, Maryland, circa 1849. Cotton appliqued with cotton and silk velvet. Sainsbury Mills Fund, 1974. And then we have the cherubs holding the olive wreath. And it's a detail from a keyhole escutcheon. I don't know how to say that. Escutcheon, French, 18th century bronze gilt. It looks like some of the ink got on here. Yeah, like I said, sometimes these ink pads don't work. And if it does not work, we will come back another time and we will try out the stamps. Chamomile. Oh, this is chamomile. It's a detail of woodcut from Hortus something I can't read because of the ink. It's from the Elisha Whittlesey collection. Oh yeah, see, this is what makes me think that the ink pad's not going to work. And here's the large one. This is the biggest one from the first layer. Woodcut from Historia de Amanti by Aeneas Silvius Piccolomini, Pope Pius II, Italian, 1405 to 1464. It's kind of hard to read these with ink on them. And here's the cherub. It's Italian, Neapolitan, 18th to 19th century crash figure from the Museum Christmas tree polychromate terracotta and wood. polychromed terracotta. That's what it is. And then we have an urn with flowers. Don't like that one. It's a detail from a plate from plate 43 of La Vera Perfezione del, and I don't, sorry, Disegno di vari sorti di ricami by Giovanni Ostaus, Venice. And the rose border is from a color linocut published by the Wiener Werkstatt in Vienna in 1910. I love that key. And then we have the Lily of the Valley from E. Hervé, French, 19th century. Detail of a color lithograph, plate 38, from plants and their application to ornament in 12 monthly parts, edited by Eugene Grasset, Swiss, 1841 to 1917. And the keyhole escutcheon was German from the 15th century and was made of iron. And the key was also German, 1460 to 80, pierced iron. And we have the Seven of Hearts, which was from a set of playing cards from 18th century Germany, painted cut paper on colored silk. And the heart wreath with doves. It was a detail from an album quilt made by members of the Brown and Turner families in America from Baltimore, Maryland. And it was begun in 1846 and was made of cotton. The Flying Valentine, Walter Crane, English, 1845 to 1915. It was a detail of an illustration from an album of old friends, 1874. You know, I do not hold out much hope for this stamp. Unfortunately, I do not have a stamp pad available right now, except for this one. So, I'm afraid if this one is dried up, I will have to obtain another one. Oh dear. Okay, well, at least that part's not dried up. Nice. I'm going to set it right there. Let's see if I can get it open. It's washable, don't worry. I can't quite get it open. And I'm supposed to hold it level. There we go. I think I can get it. I think it's stuck together. Ooh. Oh, there it is. Didn't know I was going to need a wet wipe just to get it open. Let's try something. I'm going to just move these. And right now, I just want to test it. And it may not work. But regardless, we will definitely revisit this here and we will look at these stamps again. But I'm just going to try one. I'm just going to take one of the smaller ones and a piece of just plain paper. I think I look like I'm being booked. Like I've done something. Okay. So I have this tiny little stamp pad. And I'm just going to, oh, it's on there. I'm probably not doing this properly, but let's try it. Oh, look, you can see it. It's a little bit more faint than I would like. But you can see it. See? Look at that. Let's try the key. So we have this little stamp pad. I'm just going to try to get some ink on it. I've blurred that one a little bit. I messed it up. But you can see the key. And the ink is not, it's not great. I'm gonna put this over here. Let's try this little cherub here. We will definitely do some more stamping. There's my little cherub, see? He's cute. And we will try this. Oh, I like this one. I like the rose. We'll try that. I'm just kind of pressing it, but it's not a lot coming out. I'm just pushing down on it like that. And there's my rose. Let's see. It's actually very pretty. I like that. I don't know how well this one will do. Let's try this one. I'm just sort of pressing, trying to get some ink on it there. Let's see. And we're just going to press on that one and see how that turns out. Ooh, pretty. That looks pretty cool, actually. I like that. It's like stacked up wine glasses or something. Let's try a bigger one. Look at this one. We'll try this here. I'll try that down here. Oh, that one came out nice and even. Look at that. I like that. So this stamp pad is actually working pretty well. Better than I thought it would. Here's a challenge for it. This one has a lot of dark in there. We'll see how it does. So I'm just kind of squishing it on there. Okay, I'll just put it right there. Ooh, pretty. Look at that one. That's kind of nice. The detail is really cool. There's quite a bit of detail in there. Let's try this one. Here we go. Ooh, oh, that's nice. The detail on these stamps is really great. And this one is bigger, obviously. This is like the little stamp pad that could right here. It's already lost a lot of ink. And it's still just chugging along. So I'm just pressing down on that. Ooh, that would make a pretty border. like if you wanted to make some Valentines or some note cards, that would be really pretty. Just like do a bunch of these, just make a little frame. That would be really pretty. And this too, like you could do a bunch of these in a row and do a little border with that. That'd be really nice. Now this one is pretty big. Look at this, is the biggest one we've tried yet. I'm confident. I believe it can handle it. So I'm just kind of smushing it on there. And people who do this a lot, I'm sure I'm not doing this right, but it's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We have a blank space right there. So I'm going to set it there and try to apply even pressure over the entire stamp with my very dirty hands. Oh, look at that. Well, that came out nice. It's not quite as dark as the others, but it's still pretty good, I think. Let's try the dove. There we are. We'll put that over here. There it is. It's like somebody just drew it on the paper. And the little heart. And just press it down in there. And then press it on the paper. Oh, that one came out nice. Nice and dark. And this is the other dove. It's facing that way. And these doves would make a nice border too. There are all kinds of little ways, and you could mix and match these and make borders that have multiple stamps in them. Just alternate them. The possibilities are pretty much endless. It's just a mirror image. These two. Here we have the two cherubs. Just press down. And here they are together. And here's Cupid. And you can't really see it, but he's holding his little Valentine. Either that or he's moonlighting for the post office. It's kind of hard to see what it is, but it's some sort of envelope, piece of mail. I imagine being Cupid doesn't pay much. And there he is. You can actually see it better this way, I think. You can see the little, it's still kind of faint, but you can see his bow and arrow. And his little Valentine. When I look at this one would be really nice. So just press that on there. And we'll try it here. and press down. Kind of trying to press on the whole surface of the stamp. Well, that would be cool if I could have gotten it to come out a little darker, but it's still really nice. So you can kind of see that. Ooh, and this one. And these bigger ones are a little harder because you have to make sure you get ink over the entire thing. I'll try it right here. Okay. Ew, this looks like a ring. Two little Cupid cherub people. And this one's really cool. I like this one. Let's see how we can do with this one. Now this one is quite ornate. You have the image, you have the scene, and then it is framed with this border all the way around. So I'm just kind of turning it and trying to get ink all over it. Turn it right side up. And I'm going to place it and then just press down. That one, a lot of these will work better when I get a better ink pad, but I wanted to just try each one so you could see it. Like if there was one in particular you wanted to see, I wanted to make sure that I did each one at least once. I mean, this one will be very beautiful when we get a better ink pad. It's slowly running out of steam, but we're going to see if we can do these last four. This is the one with the daffodils. It won't be long. We'll have daffodils starting to kind of spring up out of the ground. I love daffodils. Oh, they're so pretty. That means spring is coming. It always makes me happy to see the daffodils start to come up. Actually, they're calling for snow tonight, so I'll have to think about daffodils later. Ooh, that's really pretty. I love that stamp. I think that's my new favorite. It's very delicate and beautiful. And then we have the cherub here, blowing the horn. I'm just pressing the ink onto the stamp. I'm going to put it right beside the daffodils, I think, right there. And there he is. Kind of looks like the Michelin Man to me. He kind of does. And then we have this one. It looks kind of reminds me of this one. It looks similar. So we're actually, I think we'll put it right there, right beneath that one. But first we need the ink from the stamp pad. I'm just gonna see if we can apply that. And put it there and press. Oh, that one came out pretty. See? I pressed a little too hard on the edges. I got some there. But you can see it though. Once we have a proper stamp pad, oh, these are really going to be beautiful. And then we have this last one here. And we'll put it right over here in this empty spot. Press down. Oh, that's nice. That looks really nice. See, I love that border around there, and you can really see the little flowers in there. So they all look really pretty. I like all of them. Maybe we can make some little Valentine's cards with these once I get a new stamp. So that would be great. So here we have all of our little stamps just everywhere. I'm trying to put them back where I stamped them. And I think they are really cool. And I am impressed with the stamp pad as well. Even after leaking all over the literature that came with the set, it still did its best. And that's all I ever ask of anyone. Just do your best. And look at that. Just a nice little hodgepodge here. I don't know. I do think the daffodil is my favorite now. I like that one a lot. That one goes there, and that one goes up there. And I actually did this one twice, so I'm going to put that right in the middle. So there we have it. All of our stamps from the Hearts and Flowers stamp set from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. Thank you so much for coming to examine these with me, and we will definitely play with them again later on, so stay tuned for that. Thank you so much. Look at my fingers. I'm going to go wash my hands now.